Hello and welcome to this edition of Tao of the Blaze Dragon. And I am your host. Shampoo, it's basically the same opening, you get the idea. Anyway, I'm the Blaze Dragon. How are you today? I wanted to share something with you, but first I got some other little toys to share. Really, the point of this video is it's an add-on to my last Wake and Bake News, and this is me reading the 48 Laws of Power. The 48 laws of power are what people in power use to gain power, to ascend higher, to use people to get higher without drawing too much attention to themselves and getting squashed like bugs. Sort of Game of Thrones kind of stuff. But if you look at it, you'll recognize quite a few things that not only you may do, but other people do to you. And that's what the point of reading this is this is not an evil code for you to use against mankind. Most of these things will fuck up on you if you screw them up. This is just, look at this, heads up, learn to recognize the signs when somebody's using this stuff on you to ascend to the throne or whatever bullshit. Oh, I left my sake over there. Did I leave my sake? Oh no, here it is. I'm blind. Okay, so I warmed up some of my favorite sake. Put it in this thing. Hail and well met, samurai. We went to the Asian market and we went to Trader Joe's. So the first thing we're going to look at is, I think these are my tuners that have now arrived. Let's bust this open, check the mail. Mail check first. And we'll do a dab in a second. Took all my parts and my wood that the stuff I'm working on, the wood piece I'm working on, up to my brother's because it was a little bit beyond my skill level to cut the board the way I wanted it, corner to corner, and then join it. So my brother is doing that, and it'll make a nice mirror effect where the grain runs together like a little triangle, you know. And oh, see, these are my tuners. These also were like, I don't know, $8 or $9. So here's the parts for the tuners, and here's the tuner peg. See, all off eBay. I bought all my parts off eBay. Once I receive them all, I'll tell everybody, thank you very much, fast shipping. Sorry this took so long to get back to you. Okay, so let's do some dabbage now. I have some here in the butt. Touch the butt. In the butt of my device. Still working with these this amazing concentrate, which I'm telling you, man, I had twitchy eye. I've been having twitchy eye, right? So I'm having twitchy eye, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to hit this vaporizer, see what this does. So as soon as I got these dabs, boom, a couple of big draws off my vaporizer. I could feel twitchy eye going, what's happening? And dissipate. Twitchy eye went away, and I was like, ooh, interesting. Okay, so twitchy eyes started coming back and bother me because my eyes get tired reading and looking at the internet and everything. And I'm like, oh, my eyes are getting tired of stuff. Let's try hitting this vaporizer again, see what happens. And sure enough, dissipates. And I'm like, oh, check this out. Like I said in my last show, I went to go see my doctor yesterday and got my, where in the heck is the dabber? Got my, my license. Aha, you're hiding from me. And got that all taken care of. So that's like off of my mind. I'm happy. I've re-upped. It's nice to be legal. And like I was saying, I'm a believer. I'm a medical patient. This works for me medically. That's why I'm buying these $80 licenses. Not because I love to blow $80 just before legalization hits California. Which I'm sure a lot of patients are thinking, maybe I'll just stop. You know, it depends on the taxes. But maybe I'll just stop buying this, license to be a patient. And I'll just go recreational. Well, my choice is to still be a patient. Because this, for me, I need something quality, not Budweiser. So got that done. Told him about some of the uses that I've been finding helpful for marijuana. I didn't tell him about the jumbo. I should have said that. Told him about the lotion. Told him about my hands, strengthening my hands with guitar to fight arthritis, and I haven't had pain in my knuckles since, like I had when I was working. Just every time it was cold, every time it was rainy, my knuckles started fucking aching. And I was like, if this is arthritis, fuck that shit, man. I'm gonna fucking play guitar, do so. Strengthen my hand was all I could think of. I am not, because I know when somebody was saying, oh yeah, you know, if you don't keep your stomach muscles tight, then you'll get a hernia, and it's common for women to get a hernia. I was like, fucking tighten my stomach muscles. I'm not getting that shit. I'm gonna try anyway. Oh, this was my hat for the day. I love this hat. But it's hot and it's wool. It's making me sweat. I have many cool hats I've collected over the years. I like things that look cool. Want to see something else looks cool? $3 at the thrift store. That would make such a cool little fucking amp. Like a little, you know, battery operated amp. Just that stupid housing. It's like a 1960s, or it might be occupied Japan. Might be from the era of occupied Japan. But it's an old, you know, handmade Japanese, like, a speaker for probably some radio or something like that, you know. And it says made in Japan on the back, like, stamped with, like ink, you know, like a stamp, you know. When Japan was first taken over, they made a lot of tin toys. They made a lot of clay, porcelain, little elves and things, and you'll find things that say made in Japan, made in occupied Japan, and that comes from the era when the Allies were in control of Japan, and it was really kind of an uncomfortable situation. OBKB. Now, to some of the fun stuff I found today. Okay, so, well, and a couple days ago. These things, these little wheel things, I don't know what the fuck you call them, but these are fantastic. And what people do at the swap meet is that they bust this thing open. Is there Tapatio behind you? You've got your guitar.
No, I can.
You're very nice. Thank you. Do my bidding. No, thank you. I appreciate it. I just watched a woman enslave her husband right there live on camera. Did you see how she tricked him? Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. So you get some Tapatio, right? And I see people, and they'll put sauteed onions in this at the swap meet. They have onions. You just, boom, put the sauteed onions in there. You can put cilantro. You can put a lemon. People like to have lime and lemon. They squeeze in there. And then you take your hot sauce, and you just chuck the whole thing like this. Right? This is what they do at the swap meet. I'm teaching you the secrets of our people here in California. You hear it's like Rice Krispies a little bit. See it? You shake. And I mean, they'll buy a whole bottle of this stuff and just pour it in and soak it till it's like soft. It's not even, it's like partially crunchy and soft. And then what you do is you just eat it. I've already got lime on them. And I think they're made of rice or something. They're kind of like Funyuns, but they don't taste anything like Funyuns. There's nothing corn going on here. I mean, they come in these wheels, and you can buy the wheels not puffed up. And then you take them home, and you drop them in hot oil, and they psh, and they make these little puffy wheels, and they're so fucking good. Anyway, people at the swap meet, Hispanic people, will just make this into a whole meal, and they'll get a fork, and they'll put, you know, all kinds of toppings and stuff in there, and kind of make, you know, taco in a bag, except with that and your meat. And I walk around swap meet and eat this stuff. It's fabulous. And then, because you live in a hot climate, that's why you eat spicy food, because it makes you sweat. saw one of my kids I used to work with as an adult later on. He obviously was coming in on a very fucking hot day. It must have been almost 90, 100 degrees. It was like a heat wave we had recently. He comes in as Mexican restaurant, Hispanic, a Mexican restaurant we're in, which we love, Taco de Guadalajara, right? So he comes in there, and they're waiting on some burritos or something they ordered, and him and the other guy just pour themselves a shot of this hot fucking salsa that they make, where it's just red chilies that they just, grind up, So super hot salsa, and they just shoot it like a shooter, because it makes them sweat, and the sweat helps break the unpleasant feeling of the temperature. Because now you, at least for God's sake, you're sweating. Okay. I love these things. I actually saved them to show you. So, I don't know what they're called. Relitos. I'm going to say it wrong because I'm an ass. But these are some of the products they make, and they're super fucking good. All these things are really good. It takes a while to get, a little bit to get used to it, because it's not your usual palate, Like, their candy is super spicy hot, and then you're like, oh my God, it's torture, it's torture. It's sucking all of the water out of my mouth. It's drying me out. There's so much salt and so much chili on this, and tomatillo. I think it's tomatillo. Anyway, so there's so much of this stuff, and then you get to the candy, and you're like, oh, thank God. And the mangonade is the same thing. It's like chili and sweet. It's delicious. They take fruit, and they put this chili stuff on top, just chili flakes. That's kind of candy, kind of sweet chili flakes that they sell. And they put this stuff called chamoy, which is a sweet, sort of hot. It comes from a fruit. It's red. Anyway, they put that on top of the fruit, and it's the same thing as if you salted the watermelon, except instead of salt, it's spicy. And then you have that cool watermelon and the spicy. It's fucking good. I first saw people putting fucking hot powder on their fruit. I thought, like, a big, nice, big bowl of chopped fruit with, like watermelon and melons and stuff, all nicely cut up and put into this nice salad in a nice, plastic closed box. And suddenly they're just dumping stuff like this on top of it. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. What are you doing? What must that taste like? And then I was with somebody, and they're like, oh, no, that's really good. You'd be surprised, because it's like sweet and savory.
Why don't you just call it chili mix?
Chili mix. This stuff. So they put this amazing stuff on top of their fruit, like nice cold pieces of watermelon. In the summertime, this stuff's so good. And kids will just eat this. Kids will just take this and go like that and just eat it. And it's like chili, and it's lime, and it's sweet and hot at the exact same time. It's like salty. Almost, there's like a, I don't know how to describe it. Sour, That's it. It's a sour. And then you go, what the hell is this? Why would somebody put this on their fruit? But it's just so good and compelling, and you just keep eating it. The mangonadas are really good. That's like ice cream, mango ice cream with that stuff on it. So you're like, hot, cool, hot, cool, hot, cool. I don't know. It's the best way I could describe it. Okay. So one of the other things we found recently that we just fell in love with was from the Asian store, which we just went to get some things for the house. Fish cake and noodles and, rice, and seaweed, stuff like that. Anyway, this is a spicy sort of a seaweed chip, right? And these are great. And usually these seaweed chips, there's not much to them. They're just like paper thin. These things are thick. These ones are kind of spongy and thick. And they're coated with just yummy. And when you eat it, it's more like a beef jerky kind of a seaweed experience. Very sweet. Super good. This one's like shrimp. And then this one. I love this one. This one they tempura'd the rice thing. This one's genius. Oh, and there needs to be more of these in here. But see here, it's the rice cracker thing, and it's tempura on the other side. And then this has got like a squid flavor to it, kind of. Are just really sweet and good. These things are yum yum yum. Now you can't have any right now, Tiki. I do have something for you though. Trader Joe's raw shelled hemp seed. Just the hemp hearts. See? 15 grams omega-3, 8.5 grams omega-6, and 10 grams of protein per serving. Much nice and soft and not yucky. Like those fucking chia seeds. Those chia seeds are gross. Don't like those. Little tiny black seeds. That's just what I need in my teeth. Like those poppy seeds that you guys wanted to give us. Here, have poppy seeds in all your muffins. And they're all stuck in your teeth at work. Thanks. It's a boy that's thinking. Remember when they were all about, let's put poppy seeds on everything. I gotta open this thing. I'd like to get the healthy effect without having the embarrassing shit in my teeth. What is this? Glued together? What's going on here? There we go. Okay. So this you put in all your food. You just put in all of your food. And it adds protein. It's super soft. It's great to bake with and make bread with. Very soft. Just like ground up peanuts, really. It's nutty. It's just like little tiny particles of nut that doesn't have any particular flavor. That's good. I didn't think about just eating a big handful. You want some, Tiki? Here. Try the hemp seed. I'm gonna put that in your food. You want to try it? Oh, he's down. He's after it. He's on it. He knows what that is. Instinct. Instinct. Oh, you're all over it. You were eating it. Did I scare you? He loves the boxes and bags. He's like, it's mine. The bag is mine. He'll knock it over. Watch him. He'll try to push it over. You want the hemp seed, don't you, Tiki? Want some of that hemp seed? Yeah. It's good for you. It's not going to hurt you. That's not marijuana. I used to have hemp seed and bird feed. Okay. Let's see, what else do I have to show you? Okay. The next culinary delight is from Casita Springs. Or, not Casita Springs, but near Lake Casitas. There's a little town just outside of Lake Casitas that is a blip on the map. It's not really a town. It's just before you get to the lake. It's got a little liquor store and a little ice box where you get ice for your cooler, for your boat, you know, when the lake used to have water. And there's cattle all in that area, and basically they have cattle ranching, so you can get real meat there in Ojai. You can get really good steaks and stuff. And they sell it at their really super rich farmer's market. But one of the things you can do is stop at this place, right? And, oh, they didn't put the name of the market on there. Anyway, you stop by the butcher shop and they sell this beef jerky. And they've got teriyaki, and they've got, and I'm telling you, this is you're buying a steak. So this is like $10, almost $9, 8 something. It's like a quarter pound, right? And this is a kind of beef jerky that you really have to, it's not coming off that easy. It's very moist. No, it takes a while. It's going to last you. There's a real piece of beef jerky right there. So I had a craving today. So we stopped by there. I get me a little something to snack on. I wear it like a hat. You roll that up into a blunt. There you go. That's like a piece of clothing. You can make clothes out of that. It's so big. They make fucking good beef jerky. This is the peppered, and then there's like hot peppered and teriyaki. And their teriyaki looks like, I mean, it's so sticky and sugary with the teriyaki. I usually go for the pepper. So you can't eat too much of that because you get in trouble. But if you like beef jerky, you can try the turkey jerky, which is actually really good too. And I've had some chicken jerky that they had at Big Lots that was chili and lime, and that was really good, and that went really fast. That went bye-bye. We couldn't find it again. There was tons of this pork jerky. It just kind of sat there. But the chicken jerky with the chili and lime, that vanished because that was really delicious. Also had shark and salmon. I prefer the shark. Shark's dry, though. So that's what turkey jerky looks like. It's good. It smells sweet. It's soft. It's really good. They're like candied turkey. So this stuff's good too. And it's healthier, supposedly. My snackiness is getting snacked. Sake. Kampai. Sake, sake. Baka. Sake, sake. Okay, another thing I adore. Ginger candy. I am such a thing for ginger candy. I could eat an entire thing of little gingery chews. Paul Newman used to have one in a little tin. I used to just, I would eat the whole tin. Like in one sitting. I love these things. I love all this stuff. This is kind of like a candy that's covered in a sugar wrapping. Right, so it's got, I think, some kind of like rice flour on the outside or something. Sometimes rice candy and stuff will have like a rice paper that I've actually tried to peel off, and before I realized it was edible. No. Oh. Those are pretty good. Mango hits you weird. Like ginger mango, ginger mango, ginger mango. No? Really chewy. Ginger mango, ginger mango, ginger mango, mango. I like it. I also got some little ginger mints from my backpack because it's nice to have little mouth things. When you're a stoner, it's nice to get cotton mouth and everything. It's nice to have things to drink, and it's nice to have things to eat that are going to try to alleviate some of that cotton mouth. The ginger candy does it for me. Mm. Sake, sake. Sake, sake. This is one we always buy. Because this is the one you warm up. I don't do the cold sake. I just do warm sake. I don't know why. I'll drink it at room temperature too if I have to, but I prefer to have the little carafe that they bring that's heated up, and then, you know, you wrap a little towel around it and pour it for your husband and pour it for you. I'm kind of, I just picked that up from the movies, like, and I just wanted to stick with it. Look at him. What are you getting into? What are you doing? What's going on? Cheeky. Everybody wants to see you. He's like, I want the girlfriend. Is she willing for the drilling? Not now. Not right now, Tiki. Oh, my mother-in-law, or I'm sorry, my stepmother was telling me that if the bird is trying to mate with your hand and stuff, then the bird has chosen you to be part of its tribe or whatever, is identifying with you as part of its little group. And I'm like, oh, great. A bird is humping my hand and leaving like little pools of jizz on my hand, and I'm supposed to be, yay, I'm part of his tribe. When he gets, if you've ever seen video of birds having sex, when he gets off, he spreads his wings like a mighty animal. He claims his. I'm like, it's a sock, honey. What are you doing? You know, he caught him fucking Kurt's foot the other day. It's a poor little thing. I guess as long as he's happy. I don't know. I don't see this as being a healthy thing. Seems like it's abusive. Bird abuse. Bird pornography. Oh, I should do it and let you guys see what it looks like sometimes. But it's so gross. It's like, ew. Okay. Both of us are like, no, get away from the hand. Get away from the feet. Get away, get away, get away. So I'll take another dab before I go into the reading, because it's going to be a little bit. It's 48 rules of power. I think it's going to be about 30 minutes, so I'll try not to keep you too long. Now remember that these are not nice things. It's a lot of these things they're talking about in these 48 rules of power are simply things to manipulate people and try to convince them to do something that may or may not be in their best interest. So you have a choice. You could take information like this and do something good with it and try to prevent this from being used against people like yourself and others around you that you care about by educating them. Or you could keep it to yourself and try to shove crap down people's throats and trick them and play Game of Thrones. Personally, I don't see the Game of Thrones thing working out great. I just got home from shopping. I got some udon noodles, and we got some bok choy, and we got this fish cake, which is like a pink, long piece of fish that they kind of make into a cake, and they cook it all into one, and then you slice it. You take slices off, and you put it in your soups, and put it with a piece of rice. It's really good. It practically has no flavor at all. I mean, it's just spongy, cute. It's stuff that Japanese and Chinese really love. Attractive food, adorable food. Doesn't necessarily always have to have a big punch of flavor. But we also found some lemongrass, and I got, like I said, some seaweed, because I love to make stuff and wrap it in seaweed and eat it. There we go. Ooh. There's this thing called musubi. I believe that's the name. It's spam sushi. Fucking shit is good. It's big. But you You make the sticky rice, and sticky rice is just rice wine vinegar with some sugar. Melt it down, and that's your dressing for the rice. So you mix that with the rice, and then you fan the rice and keep turning it. That makes the rice shiny. And then you can saute your slice of Spam in some sugar and soy sauce till it's got a nice soy saucy flavor. And then you use the can that you got the Spam from, you cut out the bottom, so now it's a mold with two open ends. And you make your rice and you just cut the mold out that's going to shape the Spam. You put the Spam on top and then wrap like a little belt of seaweed around it, and bam, it's fucking good, man. It's really good. Throw some wasabi, like a little dip of wasabi underneath between the Spam and the rice, maybe some sriracha. It was really fucking good. That was good stuff. So I like to do stuff like that. And we got a hankering for some Oriental type food lately. Oh, and we went to this restaurant recently. It's called Pokeland, right? And I heard that there was going to be a proliferation of poke restaurants. So if you don't know what poke is a type of ceviche that they make in Hawaii, where they cut up fresh tuna and they add like green onions and say sliced up cucumber, things like this, pineapple, and they mix it with saute it in a type of soy sauce so that the outside of the fish is actually pretty much cooked and the inside is raw. So you're still getting that sushi effect without it really officially being completely sushi, because once that rice wine vinegar and whatever the soy sauce touches the flesh of that fish, it's cooking it. It's just like if you put lemon juice on a fish, on raw fish, it starts to cook the outside of the fish. It's a chemical reaction. So it's like a ceviche. So this place, holy shit, this place is good. You go in there and it's like Chipotle, or it's like Subway, or one of these places where you build your own. And you get to pick, and you're like, okay, you could have lettuce as your base, or rice, or brown rice, or you can mix the things, right? Some other stuff. And then you get some sides, and those are like pineapple and cucumber and onion, and then you get to some toppings, and the toppings are, you get to pick fish, so they have some octopus. Some octopus that is just really good, thinly sliced, curly, not too chewy. It's sauteed, previously sauteed. So that's all. It seems raw, but it really isn't officially. It's more like cold. It's a cold octopus salad, okay? And then they've got tuna, spicy tuna, which means that the tuna's chopped up and it has like sriracha or something added to it to make it spicy. And then they had salmon, right? And so what they do is they put all the meats and everything and the toppings and stuff in one bowl, and they've got your bowl set up there, and then they mix all the sauces. You get to pick a sauce, and they all squish it together. And I mean, there was like fish eggs you could put on top, and God, I love those fucking fish eggs. Oh, and then they had the fukaki or furaki or whatever they fucking call it, but it's like a rice seasoning. So it's the same thing. It's seaweed cut up, little tiny sesame seeds, and some little flakes. It could be salmon flavor or whatever, but it's a topping that kids put on rice in Japan, and their parents say, you're putting too much of it on. You can't have all just that. You have to have rice too. The kids will just fucking dump it and empty the whole jar, and it's supposed to be like a seasoning, and they're like, ah! It's super good. We just got some too. Okay, so I got, you get to choose from all these different things, and they mix it up and they put it on top of you, either a rice bowl. I had a salad today, fucking big nice slices of fresh ginger, like all, well, just, of course it's pickled, but nice big huge pieces of beautiful ginger I had on the side. So that's tart sweet, and mix it in with the pineapple and the fish eggs and all the sauces they had. There was onions and edamame, and I was just like, I had salmon, I had spicy tuna. No, yeah, salmon, spicy tuna, and the octopus in mine. And it was just fucking bomb, man. Because it's a very, light salad, and you really feel like you're eating healthy, and it really glides you right past the part that you're eating raw fish. It's an amazing way to be introduced to raw fish, because you got so many sauce, sort of a vinaigrette type thing on top, that it's actually cooking the fish before you hardly get it in your mouth. So, and then you got it all over the salad, and it's not fishy tasting. It's just very fresh. If it tastes fishy, you shouldn't be eating it raw. So, sushi should never. So, and this stuff was all just beautifully fresh and everything. And then they just had some nice coconut waters you could grab there and a soda machine. Of course, we went for the coconut water because we desperately need the potassium. You know, we need potassium in our system. I get cramps otherwise, in my legs and shit. I don't have a pretty good source of potassium, so we do the coconut water. Anyway, they had that, and that was great. That was just great. So that kind of stuff has just totally gotten us. Oh, and there's a new udon noodle place down on Main Street where they give you a gigantic steaming hot bowl of udon noodles with beef or with brisket or crazy shit, onions and stuff all floating in it, and you'll be like, I can't eat all this. And this huge, big, huge, delicious thing of broth that you can, and they have like from normal to super hot and spicy, which is of course not the super hot and spicy that actual people from those countries are used to. They're used to things that make them just break out like beads of sweat and shit like that. So anyway, I wanted to share with you the fun food and everything before I get into the seriousness. So right now, sit back and listen to me desperately try to read with a little bit of music. The 48 Rules of Power I learned several years ago and realized that these are like sales tactics. These are things that people use on you in business. And a lot of them are really not very nice. And they're being used on you all the time. And you're using them without realizing it. I do it all the time. And if you called me on it, I would say, you're right. I am doing it. I am absolutely doing that. And that's breaking one of the rules of power. You're not supposed to give away weakness. You're not supposed to let people know your secrets. You're not supposed to show your magic tricks. And I'm like, unless you're an educator, then that's exactly in many ways what you're supposed to do. But you're supposed to weave it into a story. Don't just give people toys to play with. It has to be something gifted along a journey. It means something. This ain't fucking Monty Hall Dungeons and Dragons where fucking magic swords and wands rain out of the fucking sky. You're gonna earn that shit. And when you do, it means something and you treasure it. Alright. So I'm gonna desperately try to read this for you. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene and Joost. Never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel comfortable, superior. In your desire to please or impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish you might accomplish the opposite. Inspire fear and insecurity. Make sure masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Be aware of friends. Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. But hire a former enemy, and he will make more loyal than he will be more loyal than a friend, because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more to fear from friends than from enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. Keep people off balance. Conceal intentions. Keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you are up to, they cannot prepare a defense. Guide them far enough down the wrong path, envelop them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late. Always say less than necessary. When you are trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear. the less in control, even if you are saying something benign, it will seem original if you make it vague, open-ended, and sphinx-like. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once you slip, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. Make your reputation unaccessible. Always be alert to potential attacks and thwart them before they happen. Meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemy by opening holes in their own reputations. Then stand aside and let people openly hang themselves. Court attention at all costs. Everything is judged by its appearance. What is unseen counts for nothing. Never let yourself get lost in the crowd. Then, or buried in oblivion, stand out. Be conspicuous at all costs. Make yourself a magnet of attention by appearing larger, more colorful, more mysterious than the bland and timid masses. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Use the wisdom, knowledge, and legal legwork of other people to further your own cause. Not only will such assistance save you valuable time and energy, it will give you a godlike aura of efficiency and speed. In the end, your helpers will be forgotten, and you will be remembered. Never do yourself what others can do for you. It's hard to read, these are so terrible. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you force the other person to act, you are the one in control. It is always better to make your opponent come to you, abandoning his own plans in the process. Lure him with fabulous gains, then attack. You hold the cards. Hello, police officers. Win through your actions, never through argument. Okay? Any momentary triumph you think gained through argument is really a pyrrhic victory. The resentment and ill will you stir up is stronger and lasts longer than the momentary change of opinion. It is much more powerful to get others to agree with you through your actions without saying a word. Demonstrate, do not explicate. Inaffection, avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as disease. You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you are only precipitating your own disaster. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune onto themselves. They will also draw it onto you. Associate with the happy and fortunate instead. Learn to keep people dependent on you. To maintain your independence, you must always be needed and wanted. The more you are relied on, the more freedom you have. Make people dependent on you for their happiness and prosperity, and you have nothing to fear. Never teach them enough so that they can do without you. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. One sincere and honest move will cover over dozens of dishonest ones. Open-hearted gestures of honesty and generosity bring down the guard of even the most suspicious people. Once your selective honesty opens a hole in their armor, you can deceive and manipulate them at will. A timely gift a Trojan horse will serve the same purpose. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never their mercy or gratitude. If you need to turn to an ally for help, do not bother to remind him of your past assistance and good deeds. He will find a way to ignore you. Instead, uncover something in your request. Or in your alliance with him that will benefit him, and emphasize it out of all proportions. In other words, blow it up out of proportions. He will respond enthusiastically when he sees something to be gained for himself. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Knowing about your rival is critical. Use spies to gather valuable information that will keep you a step ahead. Better still, play the spy yourself. In polite social encounters, learn to probe, ask indirect questions, and get people to reveal things, weaknesses, and intentions. There is no occasion that is not an opportunity for artful spying. Crush your enemy totally. All great leaders, since Moses, have known that a feared enemy must be crushed completely. Sometimes they have learned this the hard way. If one ember is left alight, no matter how dimly it smolders, a fire will eventually break out. More is lost through stopping halfway than through total annihilation. The enemy will recover and will seek revenge. Crush him, not only in body, but in spirit. And their women, lament, and they are driven before us. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much circulation makes the price go down. The more you are seen and heard from, the more common you appear. If you are already established in a group, temporarily withdrawing from it will make you more talked about, even more admired. You must learn when to leave, create value through scarcity. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Humans are creatures of habit with an insatiable need to see familiarity in other people's actions. Your predictability gives them a sense of control. Turn the tables. Be deliberately unpredictable. Behavior that seems to have no consistency or purpose will keep them off balance, and they will wear themselves out trying to explain your moves. Taken to an extreme, this strategy can intimidate and terrorize. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. The world is dangerous and enemies are everywhere. Everyone has to protect themselves. A fortress seems the safest, but isolation exposes you to more dangers than it protects you from. It cuts you off from vulnerable or valuable information. It makes you conspicuous and an easy target. Better to circulate among people, find allies, mingle. You are shielded from your enemy by the crowd. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. There are many different kinds of people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will react to your strategy in the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver some people, and they will spend the rest of their lives seeking revenge. They are wolves in lamb's clothing. Choose your victims and opponents carefully, then never offend or deceive the wrong person. Do not commit to anyone. It is the fool who always rushes to take sides. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others, playing people against one another, making them pursue you. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. No one likes feeling stupid than the next person. The trick is to make your victims feel smart, and not just smart, but smarter than you are. Once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you may have ulterior motives. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. When you are weaker, never fight for honor's sake. Choose surrender instead. The samurai yells. Surrender gives you time to recover, time to torment and irritate your conqueror, time to wait for his power to wane. Do not give him the satisfaction of fighting and defeating you. Surrender first. By turning the other cheek, you infuriate and unsettle him. Make surrender a tool of power. Concentrate your forces. Conserve your forces and energies by keeping them concentrated at their strongest point. You gain more by finding a rich mine and mining it deeper than by filtering from one shallow mine to another. Intensity defeats extensity every time. When looking for sources of power to elevate you, find the one key patron, the fat cow who will give you milk for a long time to come. Actually, just says terrible. Sounds terrible. Play the perfect courtier. The perfect courtier thrives in a world where everything revolves around power and political dexterity. He has mastered the art of indirection. He flatters, yields to superiors, and asserts power over others in the most oblique and graceful manner. Learn and apply the laws of courtiership, and there will be no limit to how far you can rise in the court. Recreate yourself. Do not accept the role that society foists on you. Recreate yourself by forging a new identity, one that commands attention and never bores the audience. Be the master of your own image, rather than letting others define it for you. It says it. Incorporate dramatic devices into your public gestures and actions. See, I've told you this too. Your power will be enhanced and your character will seem larger than life. Keep your hands clean. You must seem a paragon of civility and efficiency. Your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and cat's paws to disguise your involvement. Play on people's needs to believe, to create a cult-like following. People have an overwhelming desire to believe in something. Become the focal point of such desire by offering them a cause, a new faith to follow. Keep your words vague, but full of promise. Emphasize enthusiasm over rationality and clear thinking. Give your new disciples rituals to perform. Ask them to make sacrifices on your behalf. In the absence of organized religion and grand causes, your new belief system will bring you untold power. Enter action with boldness. If you are unsure of the cause of action, do not attempt it. Your doubts and hesitation will infect your execution. Timidity is dangerous. Better to enter with boldness. Make mistakes you commit through audacity are easily corrected with more audacity. Everyone admires the bold. No one honors the timid. Plan all the way to the end. The ending is everything. Plan all the way to it, taking into account all the possible consequences, obstacles, and twists. And twists of fortune that might reverse your hard luck and give the glory to others. By planning to the end, you will not be overwhelmed by circumstances, and you will know when to stop. Gently guide fortune and help determine the future by thinking far ahead. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Your actions must seem natural and executed with ease. All the toil and practice that go into them, and also all the clever tricks, must be concealed. When you act effortlessly, as if you could do much more. Avoid the temptation of revealing how hard you work. It only raises questions. Teach no one your tricks, or they will be used against you. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. The best deceptions are the ones that seem to give the other person a choice. Your victims feel they are in control, but you are actually your puppets. Give people options that come out in your favor with whichever one they choose. Force them to make choices between the lesser of two evils, both of which serve your purpose. Put them on the horn of dilemma. They are gored wherever they turn. Play to people's fantasies. The truth is often avoided because it is uglier and unpleasant. Never apply to truth and reality unless you are prepared for the anger that comes. Life is so harsh and distressing that people who can manufacture romance or conjure up fantasy are like oases in a desert. Everyone flocks to them. There is great power in tapping into the fantasies of the masses. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once found, it is a thumbscrew you can turn to your advantage. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. The way you carry yourself will often determine how you are treated in the long run. Appearing vulgar or common will make people disrespect you. For a king respects himself and inspires the same sentiment in others. By acting regally and confident of your power, you make yourself seem destined to wear a crown. Master the art of timing. Never seem to be in a hurry. Hurrying betrays a lack of control of yourself, and over time always seems patient, as if you know that everything will come out to you eventually. Become a detective of the right moment. Sniff out the spirit of the times, the trends that will carry you to power. Learn to stand back when the time is not yet right, and to strike fiercely when it has reached fruition. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. By acknowledging a petty problem, you give it existence and credibility. The more attention you pay an enemy, the stronger you make him, and a small mistake is often made worse and more visible when you try to fix it. It is sometimes best to leave things alone. If there is something you want but cannot have, show contempt for it. The less interested you reveal, the more superior you seem. Create compelling spectacles. Striking images and grand symbolic gestures create an aura of power. Everyone responds to them. Stage spectacles of those around you. Okay, then full of arresting visuals and radiant symbols that heighten your presence. Dazzled by appearances, no one will notice what you are really doing. Think as you like, but behave like others. If you make a show of going against the times, flaunting your unconventional ideas and unorthodox ways, people will think that you only want attention and that you look down upon them. They will find a way to punish you and to make them for making them feel inferior. It is far safer to bend in nature the common nurture the common touch. Share your originality only with tolerant friends and those who are sure to appreciate your uniqueness. All of our stoners just went through that. Think as yourself, but behave like others. That's what stoners do. We get high pride. We don't share it. Stir up waters to catch fish, one of my favorites. Anger and emotion are strategically counterproductive. You must always stay calm and objective. But if you can make your enemy angry while staying calm yourself, you gain a decisive advantage. Put your enemy off balance. Find the chink in their vanity through which you can rattle them and you hold the strings. Despise the free lunch. What is offered for free is dangerous. It usually involves either a trick or a hidden obligation. What has worth is worth paying for. By paying your own way, you stay clear of gratitude, guilt, and deceit. It is also often wise to pay the full price. There is no cutting corners with excellence. Be lavish with your money and keep it circulating, for generosity is a sign and a magnet for power. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. What happens first always appears better and more original than what comes after. If you succeed a great man or have a famous parent, you will have to accomplish double their achievements to outshine them. Do not get lost in their shadow or stuck in the past. Not of your own making. Establish your own name and identity by changing course. Slay the overbearing father. Disparage his legacy and gain power by shining in your own way. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Trouble can often be traced to a single strong individual. The stern, the arrogant, underling, the poisoned of goodwill. If you allow such people room to operate, others will succumb to their influence. Do not wait for the trouble they cause to multiply. Do not try to negotiate with them. They are irredeemable. Neutralize their influence by isolating or banishing them. Strike at the source of the trouble, and the sheep will scatter. Work on the heart and the minds of others. Coercion creates a reaction that will eventually work against you. You must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn. And the way to seduce others is to operate on their individual psychologies and weaknesses. Often, soften up the resistance by working on their emotions, playing on what they hold dear and what they fear. Ignore the hearts and minds of others, and they will grow to hate you. Disarm and infuriate with a mirror effect. The mirror effect reality, reflects reality, but it is also the perfect tool for deception. When you mirror your enemies doing exactly as they do, they cannot figure out your strategy. The mirror effect mocks the humiliates them, making them overreact. By holding up a mirror to their psyches, you seduce them with the illusion that you share their values. By holding up a mirror to their actions, you teach them a lesson. Few can resist the power of the mirror effect. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Everyone understands the need for change in the abstract, but on the day-to-day level, people are creatures of habit. Too much innovation is traumatic and will lead to revolt. If you are new to a position of power and an outsider trying to build a power base makes a show of respecting the old ways of doing things, if change is necessary, make it feel like a gentle improvement on the past. Never appear too perfect. Appearing better than others is always dangerous, but most dangerous of all is to appear to have no faults or weaknesses. Envy creates silent enemies. It is smart to occasionally display defects and admit to harmless vices in order to deflect envy and appear more human and approachable. Only gods and the dead can seem perfect with impunity. Do not go past the mark you aim. Learn when to stop. The moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. In the heat of victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you had aimed for, and by going too far, you make more enemies than you defeat. Do not allow success to go to your head. There is no substitute for strategy and careful planning. Set a goal and then reach it. Stop. Assume formlessness. By taking a shape, by having a visible plan, you open yourself to attack. Instead of taking a form for your enemy to grasp, keep yourself adaptable and on the move. Accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes.